Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter. Mornings at the cabin.
Mornings at the cabin, indeed. It's Friday morning. It's minus 34. Oh, yeah, wait. Doesn't feel that way, though, because there's not a lot of wind. Didn't feel that cold this morning.
I wouldn't have guessed it was that cold. No.
Right? Because maybe the computer is all wackadoo. You never know. It happens. Wheeler and Lekter with you on your Friday morning. Mornings at the cabin brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the north. I'm looking up the actual weather because I feel like the computer is lying to me.
You think it's wackadoo?
Minus 33. There it is. Huh. Minus 33, high at minus 24 today. And going into the weekend, looking downright balmy. Minus 24, minus 22. Beautiful stuff. New episode of WandaVision coming out tonight. I know you don't care, but I do. Holy smokes! This show, I mean, if you're a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this is tying a lot of things. It's just when you thought they couldn't come up with something different. Holy smokes, did they ever. And the thing about the thing that's so fascinating about this show, not only is it like if you're a fan of all these storylines and tying them all together and all these things and introducing new things and like really doing what comics do, which is like create an expansive universe that can go all different ways into different realities. It's what's fascinating is that Marvel has done so well with these movies and they have so much money that they could do something so incredibly experimental and pull it off.
No one cares about that. Watch Hamilton.
You keep on telling me to watch Hamilton. I have not watched Hamilton yet. Yes, I'm the only one. I'm that one person who hasn't watched Hamilton. And you know what?
You're being a real butthole.
I'm being a real butthole about it. You know what? I've got 10 seconds now. I won't get into it now. Let's get into it in the first break. I haven't watched Hamilton yet. I'm a real big piece of crap.
Mornings at the cabin, the podcast.
Mornings at the cabin brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the north. In our email, we constantly get spam emails, people wanting to improve our traffic, really have us pay to get up on the top of those Google searches because Cabin Radio doesn't come out on the top. It must at this point.
We're just buried in there.
You're just buried in there. We're on the Bing search.
You should start doing something worth searching for.
That's right.
Guess.
I mean, other than that fantastic news we do. But yeah, we are top on the Bing search, so that's pretty good. But we got a quick request in our email over the morning. It came out about 1:00, so you know it's legit. And this one we might actually take this person up on. Like I said, get a lot of spam emails, a lot of things saying like, hey, listen, if you pay for this, we'll improve your traffic, we'll improve this, we'll improve that.
Yeah.
Algorithms, blah, 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 blah.
If you change your business into a restaurant, we'll support it.
We'll support it, absolutely. We want your curry. Fair enough. But obviously we ignore most of these, don't respond to them, just delete them. This one, however, is a little bit different.
They're getting sneakier.
I mean, they're a little sneaky, but this one, just the premise of it, I feel like we should maybe take them up on. So the email said, quick request, and it's from Amanda. Hi, Amanda. I hope I'm not bothering you. You are. Could you please refer me to the person in charge of moderating the comments on your Facebook page? There isn't one. I have something that may help improve brand reputation by allowing you to moderate all of your Facebook comments quickly. Now, there's a link here that you read very differently, Lekter. You read as it's spelled vince.re. Now you pronounce that as vince.re. I thought Vincier because it just seems like one of those tiny URLs that it breaks up a well-known word into a couple spaces and turns it into a link.
Right.
So I thought Vincier because it was like we're moderating your comments. We're going to keep the sincere comments, get rid of the troll comments, all that stuff. Right. I am taking an educated stab in the dark here. It's not really the dark.
I mean,
it is educated stab in the dusk.
Seemingly educated, though.
Seemingly educated. But based on the size of your Facebook page, I think it's something that can help you. Now, I'm not going to click on the link. Thanks for your time, says Amanda. I'm not going to click on that link because I'm not going to open that up on my phone. That just seems silly.
Seems like a bad idea.
I mean, if it is a bot email, it's pretty well done because it's done. Yeah. It's done like there's a little bit of. It's very casual. There's a casual tune to it. There's some colloquialisms like stab in the dark.
Yeah,
you know. So there's a bit of that. So maybe they're getting a little bit more clever, or maybe Amanda's a real person.
This is a good one because the title.
Yeah.
First of all, quick request.
Quick request.
When you send that to a radio station, you think it could be you could be a music request. It could be like, maybe there's something in one of our articles. Maybe like a name was spelt wrong.
That's
something.
right.
Just quick request. Could you change the name?
Quick request.
Or change the spelling of this name?
Stop printing fake news. We get it all the time.
Yeah, we get it all the time. And then when you so it's like, okay, quick request. Yeah, I'll check that email out. Open it up. Hope I'm not bothering you. Well, that's nice. that you hosted that.
That's nice.
And then, could you please refer me to the person in charge of moderating the comments on your Facebook page?
We do not have.
I feel like this is someone who is familiar with Cabin Radio. Because
right? Yeah. Up until then. Yeah.
When you read that sentence, as someone who works for Cabin Radio, you read that sentence. Could you put me in contact to the person in charge of moderating the comments on your Facebook page?
Because holy crap, your comments are just insane.
Alarm bells will go off in our heads, and we think, "What did those monsters say now?
What did they say?"
And then I think I have something that can improve your brand reputation.
Brand reputation. There it is. Thanks, Amanda. We're good. And to be clear, not all of our commenters are monsters. Just some of them.
Just the majority sometimes.
Depends on the story.
It does.
Depends on the story. But the reason I treating this one a little bit differently is that if somebody wants to take over moderating our comments, I mean, I'm all for that. Poor Ollie can't do it all himself.
Well, it was going to be Alice, but now CBC sniped her.
Yeah, what the heck? CBC? There's a reason we don't like you. And you took one of our best talents.
So now look for CBC's comment sections to just be immaculate.
Immaculate.
No nonsense.
That's right.
Like very, very highbrow conversation. Mm-hmm. People considering other people's ideas and perspectives.
Yeah.
It's gonna be paradise in this comment section.
I don't think so. I think Alice has got her work cut out for her. But if somebody wants to take it over, I mean, you see Ollie in there. Like I think you're on the thing. I took myself off the thing for editing because every time I'd comment on something else, I'd comment as Cabin Radio, and I was like, whoa. This is not Cabin Radio. This is me.
We can't have Cabin Radio just calling people jackasses.
That's right. I mean, you could, but all he gets in there, he just uses better language.
Yeah.
He's
arse.
such a wonderful writer when he's responding to people. So if somebody wants to take that over, I'm almost willing to let an algorithm take that over, or Amanda herself to take over our comment section and be like, okay, we're just gonna parse out some of these good comments away from obvious trolling or just straight up asinine comments.
Let's chat with Amanda.
Let's have a chat with Amanda. So there it is. Another deep dive into our email inbox. It continues to be a work in progress.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
We were briefly chatting about WandaVision and the entire MCU. Now, I know you're not into it at all.
I just don't know what it is.
I have not watched Hamilton. So what I thought, that make a case for either, although my case is much bigger, as in like there's so much more to watch.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
You have to know a history of the comics a little bit, but I mean, like they cover so much of the comics in these movies and and now the TV shows. So what's interesting is that Marvel has taken a stab at TV shows before and it didn't really fail, but didn't really kind of become connective tissue. So like it starts with Iron Man and it goes all the way up through Avengers Endgame. There's 19 movies or something like that. There's a crazy amount of movies in which they've introduced different characters and then bound them all together into these Avengers movies to save the world from the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it all builds up to something, and they've done something that's so, that's never been done obviously before, but something that's pretty remarkable. They've created basically, they've recreated this comic book genre and have turned it into a viable genre. DC just can't understand how to do it. MCU has kind of figured out how to do it. Regardless of what you think of the movies and how they're packaged and how it's all very sleek and Hollywood and all that stuff, there is a lot of quality to it because they get some of the best talent they can. Mm-hmm. The best visual effects artists, the best writers, the best directors, some of the best directors. Like Kenneth Branagh directed one of these things. And so now it's all kind of focused into this one thing. It's gone through different phases. So in 2013, when they were very popular, but before things like Guardians of the Galaxy came out, which was a completely different take, they started doing like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was on ABC. They did Agent Peggy Carter, which was an offshoot of Captain America. And those shows did okay, and they tried to make them kind of connected into the MCU, but then kind of abandoned that because of just the constraints of network TV. But now, after all these movies and Endgame becoming the biggest movie ever, like making over $3 billion, they have now invested back into TV. So on Disney Plus, WandaVision, they've got a whole slate of TV shows planned, including like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a Loki TV show. There's going to be a Hawkeye TV show. There's going to be a She-Hulk TV show, like all this stuff. And they can finally actually put money into it. It's not network TV. It's streaming. So on WandaVision, finally, WandaVision's gonna be 9 episodes. Episode 6 comes out tonight. They put $250 million into a 9-episode TV series. So hired like 2 big stars, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen, who are big money stars, and put a bunch of money into this. So, but what they've done is they've actually made this part of the connective tissue. This is what's going on while this is going on, and you have to watch this in order to do this, and you kind of have to like get all of it together. Whereas Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and those other TV shows, you got to leave behind and be like, I don't need to watch that in order to understand this. There's some winks and some Easter eggs and stuff like that, but I don't need to watch these things. This thing that's going on right now is a little bit different. And it's just interesting to see that going from like only 13 years ago when Iron Man, the first Iron Man came out, where it was like comic book movies are viable, but not really. Like you had X-Men, which was huge. And
I mean, the Tobey Maguire
Spider-Mans were big, but they were kind of petering out, right? Because
were they?
Spider-Man 3
they were just starting.
Spider-Man 3 came out in 2007,
right?
And it failed. It failed.
Well, it sucked.
Exactly. So
it's not that people weren't interested in watching.
It just sucked.
It just wasn't a good movie.
And X-Men 1 and 2 were great.
Yeah.
X-Men 3, it was terrible. They got Brett Ratner to do it, and he's a terrible director, and it was a terrible movie.
Right.
So at that time, they were kind of slowing down a little bit. Ghost Rider had come out and it didn't do very well because like all these properties were owned by different companies. Sony owned Spider-Man, Warner Brothers owned X-Men, Fox owned Fantastic Four, which were not good movies either. So then you had Marvel kind of come out, and Marvel finally got together and did Iron Man. Iron Man turned out to be a huge surprise hit, reinvigorated the career of Robert Downey Jr. And that's the other thing that's fascinating about this. None of this happens without Robert Downey Jr. That's why he becomes the biggest star in the history of movies, basically. And from that, in only 13 years, you've taken from Iron Man 1, which was a risk and a surprise hit, to being actually only 11 years after, in 2019, Endgame being the biggest movie of all time. So what's fascinating from that is that you've taken this thing that was kind of viable, you've turned it into a viable concern, so much so that you can delve so deeply into the comics, not only to satisfy the comic fans, but also get new fans on board as well. Stop yawning. I am less about the mythos of the stories than I am about the fascination about how this has all come about. That's all.
What a bunch of hullabaloo.
God. And I know you don't like this word. There's a synergy to it, and there's a singularity of vision.
That's the top bad word right now.
That has like created this universe. Take it or leave it, like however you feel about the movies and what depth that they may have or what comments they may be having on society or whatever.
Yeah.
Comic book movies have always been about good people trying to do the right thing.
Right.
Or flawed people trying to do the right thing. That's kind of what it's about. So I mean, yeah, there's something positive there.
You know what'd be cool?
What if MCU did Hamilton?
if they canceled one of those movies.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Took that like $250 billion that they were going to put into that one production.
Yeah.
And put it into mental health.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I mean, but this is, I don't like what you're doing. But like, this is one of those things where it's like, we have enough money to do both. And there is something.
Apparently not.
There is something about movies and arts, movies, music, arts, and all these things, and injecting a huge amounts of money. There's an argument to be made that like, different stories or better stories could be told with this money. Yes. But there's money to do both. And this elevates the entire process. Yeah. There's no shortage of money. So there's money to do both. And there's also an argument that these movies have a positive effect on mental health. There are people who there are people who invest so much of their lives into these things and find so much joy in them and in talking about them that, there's in comic fandom, there is a section that's just like, I like watching stories about powerful people, but doing good things. Right. And there's also there's toxicity to it all as well. But there's something about creating such a universe that you can kind of get lost in for people. That's very positive.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then there's just, the rewriting of history and terrible hip hop, Hamilton. But that's all. Watch WandaVision. It's fun.
No, watch Hamilton.
Fair enough. I will eventually. I just haven't done it yet.
You know what's great about Hamilton?
What?
It's one production.
It's one production. Can't get to, and I mean, apparently, and like, I've heard that like it's probably filmed better than any Broadway production ever. Like they really, really did a good job on it, and because you can't get a ticket to see it,
no,
right? Like, I mean, you could try to buy a ticket right now for a performance 2 years from now or something like that. Maybe get one. Maybe get it when they do the national touring company. Of Canada, theater tour company of Canada does a production or something like that.
I guess that's kind of the nice thing about the Marvel universe is that if you miss one movie, there's going to be 300 more. Don't worry, don't sweat it.
You know, and the thing is, I think I'm just into it now. I'm not as into it. It's not something I constantly need updates on,
right,
or anything like that. It's just like I find it interesting.
Yeah.
I find the movies fun, and like when you have different voices kind of coming in to take over these things and giving their own color to it, like Taika Waititi did for Thor Ragnarok. He is one of the most creative and lovely creators in Hollywood right now, and they gave him free range to do a superhero movie, and that's something that's like, you know, here's $300 million. You crazy creative cat, go do something.
I'm really happy for that person who I don't know.
Okay, you need to look up Taika Waititi, and you need to watch What We Do in the Shadows, and you need to watch Jojo Rabbit. Just go do it, okay? He was also involved in Flight of the Conchords. Like, you need to get on it.
Okay.
Yeah, Taika Waititi is wonderful.
I think I might just watch the Dark Knight series again this weekend.
I mean, that's the only thing that DC's done right. Is the Dark Knight
boy,
series.
did they do it right.
Oh my God, did they do it so well? And ever since then, it's just been like, what garbage are you trying to foister on the people?
Well, you mean Aquaman?
I mean Aquaman. I mean Man of Steel. I mean Batman v Superman. I mean Justice League, which through fandom is getting a complete remake and is going to release in March on HBO Max.
That new Robert Pattinson Batman might be good.
I don't know.
Trailer looked great.
The trailer looks great. It's just there's how many reboots of Batman do you need, I guess?
I don't know. There's like 4 of Spider-Man.
That's true.
We get at least
this is
the
third boot of Spider-Man. Obviously, Tobey Maguire, and then you had Andrew Garfield. Now you got Tom Holland, who's probably the best of them all. He's really good at it. And the rumor for Spider-Man 3, because they're bringing in the multiverse, meaning all different realities, is that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield from the previous Spider-Mans might be in Spider-Man 3.
Oh.
Although Tom Holland has shot that down, there's still rumors. There you go. That like Alfred Molina has been cast as Doc Ock again from Spider-Man 2, the first Spider-Man 2, to bring into Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man 3.
Too many verses.
It's crazy.
Throw some chorus in there.
That's right. Yeah, enough verses. Throw a chorus in there, for goodness sake. The chorus is Iron Man 3, which is still one of my favorite ones. There you go. I'll watch Hamilton. But great making a case for it. I kind of took that one over. Nobody wants to hear me talk about it. Yeah, because I don't really know a lot about the comics. I'm just kind of enamored with the movies and the TV show right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's why I couldn't get in as much to the Marvel universe, because I was just like, I don't care about Captain America. I don't care about Thor.
But some of these actors make you care about them because they're so good.
Yeah, but I don't care about the character. It's not the actor.
No, but the actor makes you care about the character.
Not really.
All right, fair enough.
I've never cared about them.
Here's the thing. I don't care about comics. I don't really like comics. I don't like how they're drawn. I don't like
for kids.
No, they're not really. Like, I mean, a lot of these are written for like young men and or young people and adult people. But I've just never really liked.
But like our generation that grew up, and then like in the early 2000s, you had the Spider-Man movies and the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Like that was our childhood being played out on the screen. Yeah. Right. That's what was so novel about it.
Yeah.
And now it's just there's every character they ever conceived of that no one read their comics, but their whole story now. Good, because they've put billions of dollars into it.
I like it.
All right, you like what you like.
I like what I like.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
We've been taking in these best terrible date stories for the last couple of weeks. Thank you for all your entries. We tallied up 19 total, and it's time to pick a winner.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Lekter, would you like to introduce our illustrious judges?
So we've got Joanne from Bullocks Bistro and Stacie Smith from Flowers North.
Yes.
Great Slave Gifts in the studio. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for joining us. Turn on their mics, Jesse.
Pardon me. Jeez. I am way off the ball.
Mics are important.
They are.
I could mime, but no one's going to see
That's true. Radio's not a great visual medium.
No, not the best.
Okay.
So we sent the two of you all of our terrible dating stories last night. You got together. You picked a winner. We're about to reveal who is the winner of a dinner for two at Bullocks Bistro a Valentine's Day gift basket from Great Slave Gifts and a bouquet of flowers from Flowers North.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic Valentine's Day gift pack. Should we hit the music one more time? I've got a rundown of all the terrible
Okay,
dates.
let's do it. You've got like a one-sentence rundown of everything.
A one-sentence rundown of
everything. Let's do it.
So for those... There we go. Trust me, you two don't want to hear
this music.
music anyway, so it's probably better
Filthy
that you don't have
saxophone
music. So, in case you haven't been listening to Mornings at the Cabin for the last 2 weeks, we've had just some absolute gems of stories. We don't have time to read them all out right now, so I've put together little one-sentence descriptions
Very good.
for each story. So we started off with One Too Many Dabs guy.
Yep.
That's my personal favorite. The peaked in high school football guy.
Yeah.
Mansplaining cultural tattoos psycho guy.
Yeah.
Swallowed boss's engagement ring guy. The find your own ride home guy. Ooh. Lost phone at bowling alley guy. Grumpy proposal ruining girl. A big shot racist who also hates the homeless guy.
Wow.
Glass ankles guy. Awkward encounter with date's ex guy. Smothered by aunt and mother guy. Subdermal penile piercings guy.
Mm-hmm.
Uncrated puppy eats everything guy.
No.
Whoopee in the bushes behind a gas station guy. Left high and dry by a radio station couple. Hates friends and hates you too, blind date girl. Slept through Valentine's Day reservations, so took girlfriend to McDonald's and then nearly got arrested for stalking guy. Licks sauce and ice cream off of date's arm guy. And finally, drunken high, crying about ex guy.
No.
Now,
so many good stories.
out of all of those stories, you two have picked our winner.
Wait. Okay, you got the winner, but wait 1 second. Do you have a couple of honorable mentions? Like maybe like you picked one, but did you have a discussion over which one you'd pick? You had like three that maybe kind of made it into the mix. You have a couple of honorable mentions.
I think we were pretty unanimous.
Okay.
I think Joanne had some favorites and I had some favorites.
Okay, list a couple of your favorites off each. Joanne, go ahead.
I like the one that talked about the swallowing the boss with the ring guy.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah,
I like the too many dabs guy.
Too many
yeah,
dabs.
one too many dabs guy.
18 and too many dabs. This kind of it falls in line with the rest of our contest where we like to announce the losers first.
Yes.
The people who didn't win. We usually do this by numbers, random numbers, and we pick numbers that didn't win. So thank you for sharing a couple of your favorites. And now, what is the winner of the best terrible date story? Go ahead.
Joanne, take it away. I did it last year.
Okay.
Oh my God, too loud.
It is Nicole Ingy.
Nicole Ingy, and which story was
Number
that?
8.
Number 8.
That was the
Let's
big
look
shot
down.
racist guy.
Oh,
Big shot.
yeah.
I know. This one has been one of the mornings I was off. I don't think I heard
Yes.
this one.
Oh,
It
do
is.
you want to hear the story?
I do want to hear the story.
I
This
think
is the
everyone needs to hear this
This is
story.
the winning story, Nicole.
right.
Congratulations. Dinner for two at Bullocks. Bouquet of flowers from Flowers North and a great gift back from Great Slave Gifts. Wonderful stuff.
Nicole's story was as follows.
Oh,
Started
Lord.
out, buckle up.
Buckle up.
This date I had in 2019 was the worst date I've had and will probably ever have in my lifetime at
Lord.
least. While going to school in Toronto, I've always downloaded dating apps right around midterm and final season, don't ask why, and delete it once I've finished my exams. Every time I would match with the same really cute guy, we'll call him Mike, and he would always welcome me back when I would download it again. Let me just hit that filthy music one more time. There we go.
You're going to miss this.
Already there was a lot of excitement and expectations as we'd basically known each other for 4 years. He had a master's in business economics from a good school, so I thought he'd have at least some class. Wrong-o. He sees me for the first time, proceeds to force a small makeout, and says, "Wow, at least you do look like the pictures. So rare for women online." So infuriated.
Yikes.
We then go into the nice restaurant he chose. He said the owners and staff are like his actual family. He goes there all the time. But when the waiter comes around, Mike tries to act super buddy-buddy with them, and the servers snub him as if they don't know him. Mike becomes extremely rude with them at the rest of the dinner and makes an effort to tell me he would not tip. Throughout the dinner, all he talked about was himself, his accomplishments, his goals, how rich and important his friends are. The only thing he really asked me was to see if I would be into some sexual fantasy he has.
Very nice.
Anyways, being a political science major, I love talking about current global events, political theory, etc. I find out the guy comes from a conservative family. Okay, not the worst. But he talks about how Trudeau getting elected was the worst thing to happen, as all the money will be going to the, insert racist comment here, who are, insert racist, ignorant thoughts about racist comments here.
Good Lord.
Being Indigenous, I was beyond offended, and I didn't really know what to do. So I tell him I'm actually Métis. He said it was okay, since our kids would be mostly white, and some more racist stuff there. At this point, I try to cut the dinner short, and we leave. Walking home, we come across a homeless man who asks to take my doggy bag of food. I'm about to give it to him. Mike shoots me a dirty look, and he compliments me, saying how beautiful I was. Mike then becomes super aggressive to the homeless guy and tries to get physical with him, literally trying to punch and kick a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk. It was super scary, and I screamed at him. He storms off, grabbing my hand, and makes some derogatory comment about the homeless. Big surprise. I tell him I'm actually meeting my friends for a girls' night, and we need to call an Uber. To top it off, he tries to get in with me, and asks if I want drugs from him to bring to the party. I block him on everything after that. Super scarring, worst date ever. Anyway, thanks for the read. Hopefully I can find better guys in Yellowknife.
Oh, good Lord.
Nicole deserves this prize.
Deserves this prize. Maybe even next year as well.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
Wow.
That is, those people are out there,
That's
Yeah.
epic.
and they have educations.
So congratulations, Nicole. It is not all for naught. You
Good
win
Lord.
a Valentine's Day gift pack from Great Slave Gifts, flowers from Flowers North, and dinner for two at Bullocks Bistro this Sunday, Valentine's Day.
Congratulations, and I'm sure you'll find a better date here in Yellowknife to go with.
Well, hopefully.
Maybe don't go on a first date. Maybe someone you've seen before.
Yeah.
Make sure the night's going to be okay,
Yeah.
right?
Stacie, Joanne, thank you so
Thank you so
much
much.
for sponsoring
Absolutely.
this contest. Ton of fun.
Thank you
and,
for having us.
Thank you very much.
Great choice for the winner.
Absolutely. Perfect choice for the winner. Nicole, thoughts and prayers. Goodness gracious. Thank you so much again. We'll have to do it again next year. I'm going to get your promises right now on air that we'll do it again next year.
Sure.
Great. That is a verbal contract. Wonderful stuff. All right. We continue on with the Mornings at the Cabin program. And I don't know if you just want to send in bad date stories throughout the year. We love reading them.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the north. And you know what time it is? It's Friday morning. It's around 8:30. Emily Blake's in the studio. That means it's time for the PCPTP party. That right, pop culture party, trivia party, brought to you by us. Eventually we'll get someone on it, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. We got to figure out a way for other people to win this thing. So last week I did it because Emily was heading down to Fort Simpson for the weekend. How was your weekend, by the way?
That was all right.
All right. Very good. So we do this every Friday morning. Basically what we do is we get a rundown of the theme for the week is pop culture news of the week, usually, unless there's a special theme.
This week it's Valentine's.
Valentine's pop culture trivia, wonderful stuff. And Lekter and I play against each other. Sometimes Ollie joins us. Ollie? No. All right. So we usually do about 7 questions, and it's just a little bit of fun for us, and hopefully it's fun for you too. We like to have fun. That's what we do here.
Ollie won a couple weeks ago, and I think
did.
he's like retired the
Pretty
champ
much.
now in his mind.
That's right. And
Yeah.
didn't he win last week too? Because when I was doing it, I was doing the question, so I didn't answer.
No, we forgot to do it last week.
Last week? Or wasn't I here? No, it was 2 weeks ago.
No, last week.
No, 2 weeks
we
ago
didn't
you
do
were
it
in
because
Simpson.
Yeah.
you weren't here.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I wasn't
That was
here
2
last
weeks
week.
ago.
I took
Yeah.
last week off.
Yeah.
Last
And
week
Ollie
we
got
skipped
very
it.
mad at me
Last
because I
week we
didn't tell
just forgot.
anybody else other than Lekter. He was
But we're
only-
back on track.
You were back on track. He was only
Yeah.
grumpy for one message, and I said, "I'm so sorry. I owe you guys breakfast." He's like, "Okay, I'm good."
Yeah. That's really all you got to do.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, it puts a crinkle in his plans for the morning. So I just
How
gotta be-
dare you crinkle his plans?
I like to crinkle. I'm a crinkler. All right, let's get it going. PCPTP started now. A few questions. And this week's theme, of course, is V-Day.
All right.
Ready?
All right,
Let's do it.
Question number 1. On Valentine's Day, you might want to take your date out for a nice steak dinner.
Mm.
Scientists in Israel have 3D printed the world's first steak. What cut of meat was
God.
it?
This
Ooh.
was now I wish I'd been paying more attention the other day because this was a major topic of conversation in the office.
Yes.
I did not hear this. I've not heard of this.
Sibs was it Sibs or Brack who inquired?
It was me.
It was you.
I'm really into the
3D meats?
steak. It fascinates
But
me.
was it you who inquired whether it could come out medium rare?
Oh, that was Sibs.
That was
No,
Sibs.
yeah. You 3D print it medium rare. Okay, what not a better question, but another question for Brax, who is a vegetarian, so, observing vegetarian.
Yeah. Pseudo.
She eats fish, I'm pretty sure, which is meat.
Yeah.
Pescatarian.
Probably
Pescatarian.
chicken,
That's
too.
right. Pescatarian. Probably chicken too. What a jerk. No, but Brax. So is 3D printed meat? Meat?
This is what I
It's
was
made
wondering.
from animal tissue.
It is made from animal tissue, so
Okay.
that makes sense, right? Because I know that we've grown meat. That was a few years ago.
Right.
Grew a burger, right?
Right.
So they're able to grow a burger without they're using animal tissue and animal cells to grow burgers. Doing the same thing for 3D printing. That means you don't have to slaughter thousands and thousands of animals, so you can have a burger.
We put
Yeah.
the burger through school.
Put the burger in school, grow it up, becomes an adult. You slaughter it, you eat it.
Had
That's
a
how it-
fully, full life. And then, yeah.
a semi-conscious burger. Not great.
Anyway, that cut of meat.
Okay.
You have options?
I have options,
Okay.
yes. Was it A, a T-bone, B, a sirloin, C, a ribeye, or D, filet mignon?
I gotta go D.
I'll go with B, sirloin.
It was a ribeye.
Ribeye!
Wow.
Wow. I wouldn't
Okay.
like you'd think you'd. I thought filet mignon just because it's the leanest, it's the least amount of. It's just mostly tissue, not less fat. Whereas ribeye's got that big
that big what?
that big of fat right through the middle of it, which
Yeah.
is my favorite part.
That is a great sound effect for fat.
That's right.
Yeah, that's-
Fun fact,
That's the sound I make.
I texted this man that I have a crush on,
Oh.
asking him if he would eat a 3D steak.
Yeah.
Thinking it'd be funny and
Yeah, yeah.
interesting.
Would you eat
He
a 3D
was
steak?
not into it, and he has not talked to me since.
Oh no!
So, the
If you're
3D
out there,
steak has
3D man.
failed me.
If you're out there, text Emily back. It's
I
just
mean,
a
he
3D
did.
steak.
He did respond to
Oh,
the
okay.
steak question.
Oh, and he
Just
said he
change
just
the
wasn't into it.
subject.
He was just like, no, that's weird,
It's weird.
and has not talked to me since.
That's
So-
weird, and you're weird.
It's weird. You're weird. Leave me alone.
Aw.
Okay, question this number 2.
Okay, question 2. There are 3 films that Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling play star-crossed lovers. Can you name all 3? There will be a point for each film you can name.
Okay.
So La La Land is one. So that's 1 point for me, none
Is
for
it
you.
La La Land? This is
No,
right for
You're
me.
out.
Yeah.
You're out.
Okay, fine. La La Land, Crazy Stupid Love, and
I shouldn't have challenged you like this.
it's not called Gangster's Paradise.
Breaker
it's
High.
called not Breaker High.
Not Breaker High.
It's called not Gangster's Paradise. It's Gangster something or something Gangsters.
Gangs of New. No.
No. Ugh.
The Coolio story.
The Coolio
Gangster's
story.
Paradise.
Yeah, Fantastic Voyage. The Coolio story. Okay, so La La Land, Crazy Stupid Love, and
I can't think of any other Ryan Gosling movies.
can I get half a point for Gangsters because it says
Yes.
Gangsters in the title?
It's Gangster Squad.
Gangster Squad.
Oh.
So
Terrible
I will-
movie
No,
with a
no
great
half
cast.
point.
I
No
will
half
give
point.
Lecter 1.
Yes.
And you can have 1.5.
Oh,
1.5.
what? Come on.
Wait, I got it's Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and La La Land. Oh,
Yeah,
but he
no,
got
but
it first.
He
No,
said
yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, right.
La La Land first.
All right, fine.
Okay. Question.
Okay.
That's a
question
charity
3.
point for me. That's fair. I'll take it.
What is Celine Dion's best-selling love song of all time? Is it A, I Drove All Night, B, My Heart Will Go On, C, Because You Loved Me, or D, To Love You More?
I feel like it has to be B.
It has to be. Yeah, it has to be. But that's the trick, though.
Yeah.
Like, it seems too obvious.
But Titanic, man.
I know.
It's huge.
Because You Love Me.
It was My Heart Will Go On.
Of course it is. Too obvious, and the obvious sometimes is the right answer.
All right.
Son of a B.
And I'm not used to being in the lead.
Oh.
I'm nervous.
Question 4?
Yeah.
All right.
So Carrie Russell and Goldie Hawn, iconic couple,
Yep.
they actually got together on Valentine's Day. How many years have they been together?
Do you mean
Oh,
Kurt
man.
Russell?
Yeah, did you say Carrie
You
Russell?
said Carrie Russell.
It's Kurt. Yeah, I don't know
Okay,
why.
I was going to say iconic couple Carrie Russell.
Curdy Russell.
Felicity.
Is it A, 37, B, 22, C, 15, or D, 8?
How many years they've been together?
Jeez.
Ooh. I'm going to say 37.
I'm going to go 37 as well.
That is correct.
There you
Yeah.
go.
All right.
You got it for a long time. Not married.
Not married,
Not
really,
married.
the whole time.
The whole time.
Wow.
Yep.
What do you know?
I know they're not married.
Question number 5. In which classic film does a main character say, I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible?
Oh, God.
Is it A, Jerry Maguire, B, Casablanca, C, Pretty in Pink, or D, When Harry Met Sally?
When Harry Met Sally?
Yeah, D.
Yeah.
That is correct. Bill
Hey!
Crystal says that to Meg Ryan.
There you go.
And that is
Could've
my
been-
favorite
could've been Jerry.
rom-com of all time.
Is it really?
Oh, hey.
Very nice.
I'm not a big romantic movie fan, but that movie does it for me.
All right, fair enough.
I watched Casablanca not that long ago. It's
I've
like, I
never
don't remember
actually
that
seen
line.
Casablanca.
Oh, it's great. I'm not even
It
just
is-
saying that. It's
no, it
actually
is great.
really
It's
good.
a perfect screenplay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, question 6. What famous line from Titanic was improvised?
Oh.
Was
Iceberg.
Was it A, I'm king of the world, B, you jump, I jump, C, I'll never let go, Jack, or D, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls?
Ooh.
Oh, man.
I mean,
What?
King of the world. King of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with that one, too.
That's true. It was
King of the world.
Hey, okay.
Leah,
Yeah, just shout out something stupid.
Yeah.
King of the world. Sure. That's interesting. That's improvised because that's what he screamed at the Oscars when he won Best Director. James Cameron did. Said,
Oh,
I'm
did
king
he?
of the world, and he was dragged relentlessly for it
Because
because he's a bit of an egomaniac.
that's a pretty arrogant thing to yell.
I mean,
But, yeah.
Okay.
he meant he felt like the king of the world because
Right.
Titanic won 11 Oscars that night.
Yeah, well, I suppose he was for one night.
For one night, he was king of the world.
Belle of the ball.
Belle of the ball.
Question number 7.
Yes.
Also, I have 8 questions. So
Okay.
you don't have to do all of them.
Okay.
but
Okay, let's do them.
Question 7. What rom-com was the first Western-made movie to be broadcast in North Korea? Was it A, Bend It Like Beckham, B, Pretty Woman, C, 50 First Dates, or D, What Women Want?
Was Bendit Like Beckham a rom-com?
Yeah.
According to the
Okay.
internet.
I mean, kind of. Yeah, she falls in love with her coach. It's really inappropriate.
Oh. Ew.
What women want?
50 First Dates.
it was Bend It Like Beckham.
Bend It
Oh,
Like Beckham. Wow.
What?
Jeez.
What an international star.
Yeah.
My God.
Well, he's not in it.
Yeah, but it's all about
It was
him.
Keira Knightley's big break.
Oh, she was in that?
Yep.
Okay.
Talking with the chin. Gorgeous, hey, gorgeous.
I love seeing people do their impressions.
I
of Keira
know
Knightley.
it's but once you that's the hook for the impression, and everybody can do it because you say gorgeous, gorgeous.
I don't know if I can do it.
You can do it.
I can do what's his name from Taxi?
Wait, is that
Danny
Rob-
DeVito,
Rob De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Oh yeah.
It's just this.
is that all that Braun's doing through Game of Thrones? Is just doing Keira Knightley impressions when he
No,
talks?
that's because of his accent. He's got he's like, yeah, because he has his chin way out, so he's so he has to he has to a word like crazy, he's got to drag his whole face back. So he's like, Danish women are crazy, and he's got to be like crazy.
Which
It's
character?
so
is that?
Braun.
Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best characters.
One of the best guys.
He's like Tyrion's
and then he turns on
bodyguard
him.
guy.
Yeah,
for most of
kind
it.
of.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
he gets his.
Yeah.
He gets.
Sorry,
his
I apologize. I'm not supposed to talk about Game of Thrones on here.
Danish
Why?
women are
New
crazy.
Year's resolution.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Why do you talk about it too much?
Apparently, the internet thought so.
Yeah.
So, it was a Google random New Year's resolution.
Yeah, stop talking
talking about Game of
And
Thrones.
I agreed.
I was like, all right,
Because he and I are
talk about it
at
a
odds
lot.
about the end of Game of Thrones. I'll never watch it again. And he's just like, no, it's great. It was perfect. And I was like,
and I'm currently rewatching it.
great.
It's not the worst ending.
It's one of them.
It's not great,
It's
but
one of the most
I
disappointing.
mean, if you hate perfect endings, it's not great.
Oh,
but
it's
very good. Otherwise,
Very good.
Yeah.
That's right.
okay. Question
Okay.
8.
Question 8.
What romantic movie released in 2002 was the first movie to be filmed in the Tiffany's jewelry store since Breakfast at Tiffany's in 1961?
Mm.
Was it A, A Walk to Remember, B, 2 Weeks Notice, C, Sweet Home Alabama, or D, The Wedding Planner?
Well, that seems like the obvious answer.
Yeah, the wedding planner.
Yeah. Wedding planner.
It was Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama. Oh, no.
Starring Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, and Josh
Oh.
Lucas, who
Josh Luke, household name.
who gave way to Bradley Cooper.
Oh.
Josh Lucas was basically Bradley Cooper until Bradley Cooper came in and was like, I'll take over from here, Josh.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, poor
Moves
Josh.
Josh.
He's doing fine.
All right, so I won.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't doing good.
Counts? I don't think so.
We answered the same thing on everything.
Pretty much.
Except for one.
I'll give it to Lekter.
Yeah! Woo!
Yeah, woo.
All right, turn up that news fader because we didn't actually hit the intro.
That's right.
And now it's going to be my celebration music. Yeah! Yeah! Big win, Lekter! Here we go!
Trivia. I think I got the answer. Trivia. Trivia.
Oh, it's going to be a good weekend.
Very nice. Emily, thank you as always for bringing us your pop culture trivia. Another PCP-TP party done. We'll join us again next week, Friday, around 8:30 for another party full of trivia about pop culture. Wonderful stuff, as always. That's going to do it for Mornings at the Cabin for this week. For today, have yourselves a wonderful Friday. Wrap up warm, still minus 32 degrees, but it's a beautiful sky out there today, so we're going to see some sun. But that could also mean a little bit more cold.
And congratulations, Nicole Inge.
Yes,
for winning
congratulations for having the worst date ever.
It sounds weird to say congratulations.
Congrats.
But
Your
hey, you're
date
getting
was
prizes
terrible.
out of it.
Well
So,
done.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
well
big
done.
thanks once again to Bullocks Bistro,
Absolutely.
Flowers North, and Great Slave Gifts for bringing that. And Stacie and Joanne for coming in and picking a winner this morning.
You picked a good one. All right. Have yourselves a good weekend and a great day. Talk to you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.